All right, y'all, it's time to talk about Miss Hellena Taylor. I ain't want to do it, but here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Toons the Gamer, and we are coming back to you with a special video. We got to talk about Miss Hellena Taylor. She has broken her silence, I guess, yesterday, last night, something, talking about her experience with Platinum Games. Now, I want to start from the beginning because maybe I misheard something and maybe I was misinformed. I want to make sure I get everything clearly, or at least hear from my perspective, and then I'll be able to give my thoughts.
And what did they think this was worth? What did they offer to pay me? The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US. $4,000 US.
Y'all, I had to go back just to confirm I heard what I heard. I'm not too big that I don't make a mistake here and there, especially after the first time I posted this video. I spoke about how she was offered $4,000, which you just saw it. She was offered $4,000 to voice the entire game Bayonetta. This is what she tells us. Then she has like other videos. You can go on Twitter and go check that stuff out. She talks about how a lot of voice actors are underpaid severely, and people in other industries are severely underpaid. And I'm breaking an NDA right now, which I cannot get over that. Like, you broke an NDA, you shot yourself in both feet, and you're having a hard time walking right now. Because the other thing is, you're gonna need to work again. After Bayonetta, what are you gonna do? People are not going to trust you when you start breaking NDAs, and especially when you don't have any receipts to back up what you're saying. She said she was broke, she didn't have a car, and it really don't matter if you come after me or come sue me or whatever, it really doesn't matter. And I'm like, ma'am, this is career sabotage. I've never seen anything like this, unless you're willing to, you got some real facts behind what you're saying. Turns out, Jason Schreier gets on maybe a couple days later and says that no, Platinum Games offered you a certain amount of money per session, like $3,000 to $5,000 per session for 5 sessions at least, at the minimum. Now, ma'am, what are you doing? How are you going to tell us that you were only offered $4,000 and then come to find out you were offered this money? Now she goes back and says that Platinum is lying. Jason Schreier's lying, Bloomberg is lying. The papers that they probably saw and received and looked at and reviewed, they're lying. Those papers are false, or whatever the case is. Down with corporations, down with greedy corporations. All they do is care about taking out the little man. Now, I will say this, that very well may be true. But right now, as I said in my previous video, if Miss Taylor does not have receipts to back up her claims, she can get on Twitter and say whatever she wants to. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have the receipts, you're gonna be in trouble. So Miss Taylor gets online, I guess last night, or 17 hours ago, she gets on Twitter, and I want to read these things verbatim. I may post them later, but just humor me for a minute. Just listen to what I'm saying. All right, so she has a Twitter thread here that was put out on 1:24 a.m. I guess it was earlier this morning. Okay, she says, Miss Taylor says, that is, it has come to my attention that some people are calling me a liar and gold digger. I feel the need to defend myself and my reputation in the industry. All right, she told me to see the thread, so I'm looking. As I posted on part 3 of my video thread, I explained that their first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000 total. Okay, so first of all, off rip, you should have gave the amount in that thread, or initially. Give that amount, because you making it seem like you would just offer $4,000 and oh my God, that was horrible. Like, that's why people jump to your aid like that, because you put it out there that you were only offered $4,000 to do the entire session. Ma'am, come on, ma'am. I explained that their first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000 total. Oh my God. Remember, this is a $450 million franchise. It don't matter what kind of franchise it is. You not counting merchandise. Nobody cares, ma'am. You already off the rip lying. Your second sentence of your new thread, it makes it look like everything you said in your first four videos on Twitter, that you lying. Remember, this is a $450 million franchise. Like, ma'am, that not counting merchandise. Like, I don't care how much money they make. They gave you an offer. And you said the offer was too low and you just brushed by it. But ma'am, they offered you $10,000. Then you did say you wrote to Hideki Kamiya, the head of Platinum Games, asking for what I was worth. Here's her tweet. I thought that as a creative, he would understand. He replied saying how much he valued my contribution to the game and how much the fans wanted me to voice the game. I was then offered an extra $5,000. So you said you were then offered $4,000 in your video. Ma'am, you look like a liar right now. I don't even like to call people that. You look like you're not telling the truth. You telling the untruth. And then here's the other thing. Ma'am, do they let you edit tweets? You got 5,000. Ma'am, I don't know if that's $500,000, $50,000. That's $50,000. So maybe the comma's in the wrong place. So they offered you $50,000. I don't know if it's $50,000 or $5,000. I don't know. But I'm assuming it's $5,000. So altogether, they had already offered you $15,000, which not once in that video, in video 1 or video 3 that you mentioned, that you got $15,000 to do it. They offered you $15,000 out the gate. You were offered 10. Then Mr. Hideki sent you and said, all right, we'll give you an extra 5. Like, ma'am, come on now. But because they're a $450 million franchise, not counting the merchandise, like, ma'am, that don't matter. Why are you counting their pockets when they offered you a certain amount? Ma'am, you got now that's disrespectful. Like, why are you all up in their business? And then you gonna try to bring it to us like the gamers, like, oh, we're supposed to do something about it. Like, ma'am, come on. So she goes, let me continue because I'm about to go off. So I declined to voice the game. I then heard nothing from them for 11 months. They then offered me a flat fee to voice some lines for $4,000. So that's where that's what I'm saying. You're making everything look muddy right now because now your story looks different than what you put on Twitter not even 2 weeks ago. They then offered me a flat fee to voice some lines for $4,000. Any other lies, such as $4,000 for 5 sessions, are total fabrications. They offered you money. They offered you $15,000 to do the session. They offered you $15,000 to do everything. Hold up. There were not extensive negotiations. Okay? Hold on. There were not extensive negotiations. I've also been informed of ridiculous fictions, such as I asked for $250,000. Not once did anybody say that you asked for $250,000. Everybody, at least the report that I saw, it was 6 figures. So we didn't know what that was. But since you put it out there, okay. I'm a team player. I was just asking for a fair living wage in line with the value that I bring to this. I get that. You feel like you're worth more. They're not paying more. So I understand if you decline the offer, but what did you expect for them to do? They had a budget for a leading voice actress and they wanted you to do the role. They even called you back after 11 months and said, can you just do this for $4,000? You just do these lines right here. And you were like, that's insulting. I ain't doing it. Like, so let me go to Twitter and talk about you. Like, ma'am, come on. You know, then her tweet here, I was paid a shockingly low total of $3,000 for the first, 3,000 euro total for the first game. A little more for the second. How much was that? We don't know. What, 5, 6? So you got, so say they gave you 5,000 euros for the second game, which means you got $10,000 more euros to do the third game. So they paid you more money to do the work, but you felt like you were worth more. So then you gonna dump on the new lady that took the job because she auditioned and won the role. But here you go, you out here barking, But ma'am, you did not provide any receipts. And I said that in my first video. Listen, if you do not come up with receipts, you cannot get on social media and make claims and say this, that, yada, 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 and the other. Not to mention you broke an NDA. Let's talk about that. There is a legal binding thing that says like, yo, you can't get on here and talk about what you was offered, et cetera, et cetera. And the first thing you say is, oh, well, I know I'm breaking an NDA, but it really don't matter. They can come after me because I ain't really got much anyway. That's basically how you put it out there to people. I don't have anything anyway. I barely have a running car. You know, like, ma'am, if you broke, just say that. But that's, you know, I mean, again, I'm not trying to sound heartless, but at the same time, where was the thought process behind this? Like, where was the thought process? Like, it don't matter how much the Bayonetta makes, but it makes it look like you're being dishonest. You look dishonest even now in this string of threads that you just posted in order to clear up. I don't know what you were trying to clear up, to be honest. I'm lost on this. You came out with a video and then you came out with some tweets that contradict what you said in your video previously. So you actually confirmed the fact that you were telling an untruth, ma'am. Ma'am. Come on, man. Hey, listen, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, yo. I'm through. I'm finna go play something else. I'll holla.